Changing the Past Through Time Travel. James posted February 2007.
Billy, what are the possible consequences when someone attempts to change the unchangeable past or future? Welcome to Earth!
Answer. The consequences are a failure only, because Ast word itself says, you cannot change something that is unchangeable. The future develops from cause and effect. The cause cannot be changed, and what has happened in the future cannot be changed too.
Note by CF. Imagine the following thought experience. You are hitting your neighbor on his head. He is badly injured and brought to a hospital. He does not fully recover and, in his mental disorder, is setting his hospital bed in flame. By bad chance, the oxygen pipe explodes and the entire hospital is burning down. 30 patients and 5 nurses are dying. There are reports in the media, newspapers, etc., all around the world. Security measures are taken in other hospitals. Craftsmen are building fire sections, etc., etc. Do you really think it is possible that you go back in time, kiss your neighbor on the head, and whoosh, all the news about the hospital fire, etc., are disappearing from the newspapers, leaving white spots on the paper, and the screws that have been drilled into walls by the craftsmen are flying back into the cases in the workshop, etc., and of course all the dead and burnt corpses are flying up from the graves and back into the hospital beds? The only way this could happen is in one of those silly Hollywood movies where people go back in time to change the virtual reality. If it would be possible to change the past, we would not be alive because creation in the universe would have been destroyed from the beginning.
James posted March 2007.
Billy, thank you for answering my previous 2 questions, although I think they have been misinterpreted. I do not dispute that the past is unchangeable. What I would like to learn is how creation's laws work to ensure history cannot be changed. For example, if a human is determined to alter history and gets into their beamship to do a time warp into the past, will the beamship and its occupant be destroyed before they could move through to that time? Or will they have another kind of accident, such as being killed by lightning or an erupting volcano? So my question is, other than obviously failing in their attempt to change the unchangeable past, what can creation's laws do to stop the human from changing the past? Underscore 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 welcome to Earth.
Answer. As long as human beings are trying to illogically change the past, they are not evolved enough to be able to carry out time travel into the past. It's the law of cause and effect which makes it impossible to change anything that has already happened.
Note by CF. If you break a pencil, you cannot jump back in time for a few seconds and decide to not break it. What could be possible, theoretically, is that you are sitting on a chair and have just decided to break a pencil. In that instant, a person appears at your side from out of nothing, grasps the pencil from your hand, and vanishes again. This person was you from your own future, 1 year ahead, when you decided to jump back in time 1 year in order to take away the pencil from you and prevent you to break it. Note, you did not break the pencil in the past, but you could find the pencil in the future, 1 year after the incident. Of course, nobody who is capable of time traveling would do such a nonsensical and silly act. Therefore, this is an experiment that is occurring in our minds only. What do we learn from this? It is important that we have control over our thoughts, feelings, and actions, because if a thought has been sent, or a hurting word been uttered, you can never take it back and make it unsaid or unthought.
Lepunif posted February 2000.
Dear Billy, I hope your health is good. Back to the impossibility to change the past discussion. CF, Christian Freiner, said, if you were capable of traveling back into the past, you would know that you cannot change anything, and therefore you wouldn't even try to change anything, because anything to the contrary would be an absolutely silly and illogical action that would fail from the beginning. In my previous example of the bullet aiming at my father, if any attempt to change the past is bound to fail CFCF, then a law force is bound to intervene pure logic. Question: so what is the nature of the creation's law intervening to prevent the past events from changing? Physical, psychic, or something else? I wouldn't call silly and illogical an action that would fail from the beginning, but simply useless. Unfortunately, some silly and illogical actions reach their goal without failing down here. Thanks for what you do. Take care, Lapuniv.
Answer: creation's laws are valid in everything that exists, in the material and also in the non-material realms / dimensions / etc. The law that's involved here is the law of cause and effect.
Note by CF. In life, there's no undo key where anything that has occurred can be made undone.
Lapuniv, posted April 2010.
Dear Billy, hope you are all right. Well, the answer is still a bit vague. So I will word it in this way with a concrete sen, given that my father is still alive today. Suppose I go back in the past and meet my father young. I point a gun to him and draw the trigger. Concretely, what occurred to the bullet? Many thanks, Lapuniv.
Answer: you cannot change something that has already happened.
Note by CF. You can never undo a thought, feeling, or action. Anyone who is capable to travel back into the past knows that what has happened cannot be reversed. Therefore, such a person would not even think to travel into the past with the intention of using a gun in the way you describe.
Lapuniv, posted May 2010.
Dear Billy, my question was neither about the impossibility to change the past. I've understood this for a long. Nor was it about somebody's bad intention to go and kill someone else in the past. My question was about what was at stake to prevent the past from changing. To be more precise and complete the bullet discussion, unless you refuse to be precise. If, as CF said, vertical bar note by CF, you can never undo a thought, feeling, or action. Anyone who is capable to travel back into the past knows that what has happened cannot be reversed. Therefore, such a person would not even think to travel into the past with the intention of using a gun in the way you describe. I question, does it mean that someone being able to time travel knows that a force would deviate the bullet? Thanks, Salome Lapuniv.
Answer: only a person who is thinking illogically is thinking that anything that has happened can be made undone. To answer your question, someone who is able to travel back in time wouldn't even think of using a gun, so any further thought of an imaginary bullet is futile. Since there is no bullet there is no force needed to deviate it.
Lapuniv, posted June 2010.
Dear Billy, I got your answer right. Let me specify again that the bullet example was what is called Greena purely hypothetical case, to help understand reasoning. As I said earlier, the real desire of killing someone in the past was out of purpose. I used it to point out the case of an irreversible action. I thought I was understood. If time travel was impossible, then I would understand that no special force would be needed to keep the past unchanged. But since apparently it is possible, it sounds impossible that an extra force would not appear at the proper moment to prevent the past from any change. Then I word the same problem this way. Imagine a more positive action. It's part the common knowledge that Louis XVI was beheaded during the French Revolution. It's an irreversible historical fact. Question: since the past cannot be changed, then, would a special force impede a time traveler from blocking up the guillotine? The question deals with the existence of a special force. Be in a good health. Salome Lapuniv.
Answer: you are searching for things where there are none. Since Louis XVI was beheaded, it's obvious that no time traveler was there and blocked the guillotine. Your example is irrelevant because it is just an unreal assumption.
Note by CF. Either the time traveler was there and blocked the guillotine, and then we would know about that incident because the bystanders would have noticed, observed the person doing it, But obviously this has not been the case, or there was no time traveler present, at least not with the intention of stopping the guillotine, which obviously was the real thing. Everything is just a case of the law of cause and effect. When there is no action, there is no effect. Neither creation or a god, etc., with special force, is waiting and present to prevent any illogical intentions and doings by time travelers. I suggest that you go back and read all of our answers that you received regarding time traveling.